Hey guys, welcome back. It's Jaden at Mazda here at Riverside Mazda, and today we have the 2024 Mazda 3 hatchback in the Turbo Premium Plus trim, running over all the new features and updates to this new model year. So let's get started. So starting off in the front, we know that Mazda has made design language wise no changes to this new Mazda 3, but they have updated a lot of technology. So we'll go ahead and get into that when we go on the inside. If we're looking at the styling, this thing is as sharp as ever, especially in this black on red trim. I think it looks really nice. Looks really stealthy. With the hood, we have a nice line coming from the A-pillar there that flows right into the hood. That creates a little dimple that goes down to make room for a headlight. So a smooth, clean design. If you look here on the premium and up trim, we're gonna get the LED daytime running light. So that's what goes around the main bulb, with these strips that go all the way through, which is really cool. And of course, LED lights and then LED and turn signals up there as well. So the integration of that, it's nice and sleek. I like the design a bunch. And if we're looking at the front, coming on down a little bit, we see in the middle, we have our Mazda emblem, which has our radars for adaptive cruise control, smart city braking, and things of that nature. And then hitting at the top, you can see we do have little parking sensors up there, and then the front camera for the 360 view, which is really nice. Mazda's chosen to go with a, I want to say this is a gloss black, kind of like a mix between gloss black and black chrome for the grille surround, which looks really nice. And then of course a nice mesh grille, and then parking sensors on the outside. So you do have 4 right up in the front. And right below that, we have this really nice black air front air dam, or little splitter here with a line down the middle, gloss black, just like the rest of the car, to help channel air and create a little bit more downforce, which aesthetically looks really nice with this car. It's a nice touch. I really like it a lot. From this stance, this thing just looks really aggressive and mean. In the inside, that's the similar vibe, but you know, we're gonna get premium mixed with a little bit of performance here in this turbo trim. But checking out the wheels and the tires, we are gonna get 18-inch wheels here, finished in gloss black, and then this is gonna be a 215 45 size tire, so a relatively skinny sidewall, but I think the profile fits really nicely with these cars. We have fenelated and disc in the front, as well as some silver calipers peeking back there. I think this would look even better with the black lug nuts that come optional. Moving on a little bit from the wheels to the overall side silhouette here. So, I mean, it definitely grows on you. I know a lot of people are kind of getting hung up on the 3/4 view there, which it looks a little bit round, but I don't think it looks that bad at all. I like how simple and clean they've looked with the style. And you can see the Mazda S design, which flows really nice. When you have things surrounding it in nature, it makes the car's beauty, even when it's sitting still, look really cool. But going over some design cues, of course, black mirror caps with cameras at the bottom for our 360. They've chosen to go with the minimal chrome piece, so I'm not super upset at that. Wish it was black, but I like it. It breaks up the design. Gloss black on the B pillars, and then you can see very slim door handles with advanced keyless entry, so a little button there to put your fingers on here, and then this beautiful jet black mica, which looks really nice. And then we could see on the top, Mazda has the shark fin antenna for Sirius XM, and on top of the already spoiler, we have another roof-mounted spoiler, which a little curve right there at the end. So I definitely think it has the nice little touch of aggression that this car really needs. And then checking out the rear styling, we can see that Mazda's done a fantastic job here. LED all around, so front and rear. We can see tail lights, inner and outer LED, and then in the middle of those, little crossfire LED turn signals with the heartbeat pulsing that they've been doing for a couple of years now. Integrated them on the CX-30 for the first time. But we can see once again that pass through for that rear spoiler, adding a little bit of style, and I'm sure there's a minimal downforce there as well. And in these turbo trims, there comes standard all-wheel drive here, and then we have another camera back here we can see for our 360 cam, and then more parking sensors on the rear to help you guys parallel park if you're not that God-given good at it, and then real 2.5-inch exhaust outlets, which I think size-wise fit this really nice. I really just like how the look all comes together at the back of this Mazda 3. So since we're back here, gonna go ahead and check out the space of the trunk here. So you do have a little button underneath the Mazda emblem there. And we do have a cargo cover, but that comes off relatively easy. Just unhook there and unhook there. And we can see that is flat, but it comes up. You just lift it up on one side and on the other side, and then it comes right out. if you guys want to use that. But you can see you have a pretty good size storage for the trunk. And if you need even more than that, they do have releases on either side, so you can press that button and then throw it down there, give a little bit of push, and you can see you get even more storage, which is really cool. A bunch of storage in that option. And underneath there, we're going to get our full-size spare with our Bose subwoofer in the trunk, because this does have the optional Bose 12-speaker sound system. Here we are underneath the hood of the 2024 Mazda 3. Gonna check out what we have here. First off, hood prop. Would love to see some automatic struts, or sorry, just some struts here for the front. Definitely would make it a little bit easier. But one thing about the strut, it's never gonna, or the prop is never gonna fail you because it's mechanical, right? Anyways, moving on to the engine. In these, you're gonna get your 2.5 liter inline 4 turbo here, which Mazda's been using for quite some time now, and for good reason. You're not really seeing engines this large, really. Most people are going a 1.5 or 2 liter for the manufacturers, but Mazda's making a very large 2.5 liter. And with that big engine comes some big torque and power. So with these, you can use either 87 or 91. If you opt to go with the 87, you are going to get 227 horsepower and 310 pound-footed torque. However, if you go up to a 91 or premium in your area, then you're going to get the full bump to the 250 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque. Stylistically, these look very good. They're nice and compact. So even though Mazda has really done the long hood approach to kind of give these cars the rear-wheel drive impression, you can see they're still transversely mounted as of right now. And we got a bunch of wiring going on underneath here. So we can see we have a back-mounted turbo and the intake right here on the front side. But as far as reliability, everybody knows that with these Mazdas, it's tried and true, it's proven. And attached to this, you're still gonna get the 6-speed automatic. You don't get the manual in this specific trim, but if you go down to the premium, then you can get that. I wanna say that's almost standard as a feature there, but that's really something that's really cool if you're an enthusiast. But here at the heart of the beast, it powers it. It's more than enough, and it's a great and engaging drive. And while we were under the hood, we wanted to look at fuel economy numbers. We can see we get 26 here combined, 23 in the city, and 31 on the highway. And down here, of course, 5-star safety all around, because this is one of the safest vehicles that you can buy. Here we are on the inside of the 2024 Mazda 3. Gonna go over some styling and see what all is new. Starting with the door. So once again, high quality materials, because this is gonna be kind of an entry-level premium vehicle here at $37,000. Nice soft touch leatherette on the upper, full leather on the door that follows through to the dash. Some nice aluminum trim piece here. I like how they keep it really subtle with their design cues. An aluminum speaker grill that's got a mesh design. Of course, like I said, this is going to be the optional 12-speaker sound system from Bose. Power mirrors down here, and then just the anodized aluminum tips that adds some nice touches here. And same thing, really just soft touch leather here, and it's a great place to rest. Same thing in the door pocket. The only place where you're not getting full leather is down here. That's going to be plastic, but of course, you're going to put your water bottles there, so not going to want to mess that up. The nice leather if you do have things that sweat or have condensation down there. Moving on from the door to the dash here, we can see once again there's another speaker up there. You got your tweeter, but the same nice classic but timeless design Mazda does here. That leather wrap with aluminum for the bezel around the air conditioning, and the same thing, aluminum tips right there. I really like the styling of that, and it kind of flows through. I kind of like how they have the air vents on either side, like they're one big piece of the dash. It makes it feel really integrated quite nicely. But same thing, a nice aluminum that goes down here. We do have our 360 camera, so if I hit that button, we can see we have a nice top-down display. So you can see you have a regular view. If we go up one, you can see an ultra-wide, which lets you see even more, and I can go down to the side mirrors to see how close I am to something. And of course, if I were to put it in reverse, then we get to see that as well and see a couple different angles. Some other things down here, you get to turn off your alert noises, so things like blind spot monitoring, etc. That's one click of a button. Parking sensors, of course, traction control, memory seating for 1 and 2, which actually are programmable to the key, and then a nice little cubby to hide your coins, which is nice. In that same area, we're gonna see the same thing, 8.2 inch, I believe, off the top of my head, for the LCD display right in the middle, which displays some crucial information. On the right-hand side, we can see fuel remaining. On the left side, we see MPGs. You could cycle through a couple different displays. This is the one I like the best, but you have a traditional speedometer here. You can put things like average miles per gallon, And then if you want, you could put directions in there as well, kind of like loose directions. So nothing really changed there. Of course, right in the front, we are going to get the heads up display. Right now it says 0 miles per hour because we aren't moving, but in there you'll see things like automatic braking if that comes up, adaptive cruise control. We have traffic sign recognition, which will show things like stop signs, the average speed limit. If you have your navigation going, your turn-by-turn nav will show up there as well. So that's really cool. A nice feature that I really like on these. And moving to the front, which is the screen, new for 2024. I don't know if you kind of noticed, this space is actually cut out a little bit more. They had to reconfigure the dash just a little bit to fit the larger screen. I know a lot of people are saying the screen is just way too small, but in here, we're going up from the 8-inch to the 10.25-inch in your Premium Plus and up trims. And not only that, now that we're gonna have wireless CarPlay, and it doesn't stop there, you're also gonna get touchscreen capabilities, right, which are really cool. So now with these, you can use touchscreen while in motion, just for the CarPlay and Android Auto. But you can see you have the nice touchscreen abilities right there, which Mazda has been lacking for a little bit of time now. And they hear your cries and they are here. So that's always welcome. But as far as the regular infotainment, it's still what we know and love for Mazda. So very simple and easy to understand, and controlled by your center dial down here. So the design language from the door is continued to the dash. So nice soft touch leather and leatherette on the upper there. Very premium feeling and premium looking, premium build quality in this Mazda 3 hatchback. We can see AC controls, still physical, which I know a lot of things is when a big tablet is the trend in the industry right now. But you still get physical knobs to adjust things like your temperature. And then you see we also have heated steering wheel and heated seats as well, which is really nice. Our stop is surrounded in aluminum trim. And now standard in the Carbon Edition and up trims, you have the Qi wireless charging pad here, which is long overdue, which is really nice. And they've actually redesigned the cup holders here to accommodate that. So this is actually a better fit. And we have 3 nice little prongs there to hold them snug, right? Overall, the design past that is pretty much the same. The nice leather wrapped shift knob that controls our 6-speed automatic, sport mode, and then the MI drive selector, which a lot of people complain about, but it's really not that hard. You just have to get a little bit accustomed to it. But once you are, then you can definitely use it on the fly. And a lot of people say they prefer it to the touchscreen after they get to know how to get it going. Down here, we also have the smaller volume knob, but if we open up here, and it's a slide and open. New for the 24s is not only the illuminated bezels here for the charging, but these are now USB-Cs instead of USB-As. So nice, subtle stuff once again. So Mazda is really doing a lot of technology overall with this 24, just giving a lot of people the things that they've been asking for. So you can see that design cue that was started over here. Aluminum trim is following all the way through to the passenger side and integrated with the design here. AC vents right under there, and same thing on the passenger doors. And this, we're gonna have the nice dark red leather. You really got to see it in person, so the video doesn't do it any justice, but the nice perforation of the genuine leather, it does pretty good. And these seats are pretty comfortable. I've taken a trip to San Francisco in them, so I definitely know for long road trips they can be pretty good. It's just the space in the back isn't the best for the second row. So here we are in the second row of the Mazda 3 hatchback. We can see how much space is back here, and you can see the seat is positioned where I would be sitting comfortably. You can have the seat moved up if you want, but this is where I'm comfortable, and I'm about 6'1", and we've got about an inch left. The foot room is okay. It's not bad. I'd say it's maybe like average for the class, but the knee room is definitely a little bit tight back here, so make sure to put the shorter friends in the back. But checking out styling, so you get the same great styling that you're going to get in the front. The Mazda definitely doesn't cheap out there with a nice leather. And then you can see same design on the seats, except for the middle seat right there. It's kind of doesn't have the perforations, but it still looks very, very nice. So legroom, yeah, it's a bit cramped. I don't mind the upright position. You can see headroom here. We've got me all the way back, maybe an inch. If I sit a little bit forward, maybe a little bit more, but that's not a huge deal breaker. And just looking at the seat, we have ISOFIX points on either side for the left and the right for child seats. And then the drop down here. If we open this up, we do get our cup holders. So one thing the Mazda 3 hatch and sedan doesn't have that I really would like to see is USB Type-C in the back, or just a USB at all. And then of course, air vents. So back here, you're just subjected to however the people in the front are feeling. If they want to turn up the air, But the circulation in here is really good because the car's so compact, right? And of course, you're going to get a moonroof up there. It's pretty wide, not the longest moonroof, but no big deal. We have LED lights back here as well. So this second row is nice and quite comfortable as well. So we're going to go over some of the changes that we might have missed going on the inside and the outside. New for the 24 model year, we have a couple trims. The Select Sport in both the sedan and the hatchback, and as well, we have the carbon turbo trim. Now, with those two trims, we get new colors. We're going to get, zircon sand exterior for the carbon turbo, and then ceramic metallic for the Select Sport. On the carbon turbo, we are going to get the half and half leatherette seats with kind of some suede inserts, and that's going to be terracotta and black, which should be pretty interesting. We're going to see no more front-wheel drive carbon editions, sedans or hatchbacks. The elimination of the base trim on the hatchback, so it just goes Select Sport and then up, and then no more premium all-wheel drive because the premiums are manual now. So same engine and transmission, no powertrain changes. We get the 18-inch wheels on the Select Sport trim. You can see we both get heated exterior mirrors and the Select Sport carbon preferred in premium trims, just two different colors there. USB Type-C instead of Type-A in the interior, which is really cool now. We have the 10.25-inch infotainment that's touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is wireless now, instead of the smaller 8-inch display of the last model year. Standard on the carbon and above trim, we also have the wireless charger. If we're going down to safety, which Mazda does get a little bit of a bump here, blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert standard. You're also going to get nighttime pedestrian detection, and then cruising and traffic support, which basically you'll get on your Premium Plus trim, but it's almost like semi-autonomous level driving. So it's going to provide some lane centering technology in addition to adaptive cruise control, and it's going to just help ease the load when you're driving. If you take your hands off the steering wheel for too long, it will prompt you though. So here we are driving the 2024 Mazda 3 hatchback, and first thing we notice is what kind of vehicle that we're driving. Right, of course we know it's a Mazda 3, but the ride and the feel, the looks, it's very premium here. So as we come up to a stop sign, you can see up there in the heads-up display the stop sign and the speed limit. Like I said, traffic sign recognition. But with this car, I mean, when you're driving it around, just cruising, it has the nice, it's a little bit on the firmer side, I would say, in the middle as far as the balance, but the ride is pretty smooth here. They've got a good job done with the noise isolation. A lot of that comes from that double pane windshield, but overall, for the daily driving that you're going to be doing, because you're not going to be driving Speed Racer all the time, very comfortable ride. And what's really understated, it really is the Bose, the sound system here. So the Bose 12-speaker audio with the subwoofer in the trunk, this thing sounds amazing. I mean, I've had a Mazda before, I have a Toyota Supra now. The JBL, the Harman Kardons, all of that, it's really not even close when it comes to clarity of the volume, and the bass is really good too. But a lot of the things that you're going to see from the screen, it really feels driver oriented because Mazda makes drivers vehicles, so everything's going to be kind of facing the driver and feeling very natural. They call it Gem by Itai. A horse and rider is one. Everything feels like a natural extension of yourself. So as we come up to some turns here, you know, you have a little button. We can flip it into sport mode, and that's just gonna change the engine and the transmission, how they're talking to each other. And then we can see, even with one hand here, that 2.5 turbo sounds really good. But with that G Vectoring Control Plus, which is gonna have some engine torque assist to reduce kind of the things like the body roll and feel more stable in the corners, we are really planted here. And we're not going lightweight either. So Mazda has been known to make vehicles that people want to drive, that are engaging to the drive, and you definitely feel it here. The steering input is very natural and it's very direct, and when you're putting it where you want it to go, it's no delay, right? And it feels really sharp. You can definitely feel the weight of the vehicle when you turn. It doesn't feel extremely heavy, but it feels confident. That's how I would phrase it. It feels very confident as you're driving the car here. But yes, the overall driving experience, it's just, they've been making this car since 2019, so it's really refined as of now, and they've done a great job with this platform. And I know a lot of people are going to be comparing this car to something maybe like an Integra A-Spec, or if you're looking at a Mercedes, sometimes like the A-Class and things like that, as an entry-level premium vehicle. And I think Mazda really has a bargain on their hand with this top-of-the-line Premium Plus trim. And we're just going to get on it again. And that thing. So as we come to a stop here, we're going to text the 0 to 60. They claim it's about 5.6. Obviously, we have no launch controls. We're going to do a little bit of brake boosting. And 3, 2, 1. So really responsive low end. And just like that, we're at 60. So yeah, that all-wheel drive system gets it moving very fast, with no wheel spin, I might add. And these are a little bit of a rougher road, and it does it pretty well here. We can see that lane keep assist kind of chimed in a little bit right there. But as we do, just important as speeding up, we're going to test the emergency brake, and that is going to be from 40 miles per hour to 0. So we're going to see if this is going to trigger any ABS. So ready on 3, 2, 1, and brake. So no ABS lockup. It didn't skid at all. And yes, even though these are just standard OEM manufacturer brakes, these do a really good job at slowing the car down. And while we're here in the interior, I mean, it's just one thing you can't get over. It's just a stylish thing. Looks so good on the inside. The steering wheel, it's kind of on the thicker side actually compared to, let's say, a 6.5. It feels very nice with the stitching. And as we come to a complete stop, one feature that I really like is auto hold here. So as I take my foot off the brake, the car will stay still until I press the gas again, and then it'll release the brakes, which is pretty helpful if you're coming to something like a red light, or you're in the line for Costco or something to that nature. Just helps take some wear and fatigue off the drivers. And speaking of driver assist, we can see down here we do have traffic jam assist now on the Mazda 3. So that's when you're moving speeds of 40 miles an hour and lower, then you're going to get some things like some lane centering, and then of course slowing up and speeding down for you. So not quite autonomous driving, but it's definitely giving you a bump and helping you when you're going those low speeds, so you really don't not necessarily have to pay less attention, but you have to be you could be a little bit less careful, right? So the cars here with these new safety features are really designed to help you out in a multitude of ways. All right, guys, so that was our review on the 2024 Mazda 3 hatchback in this beautiful Turbo Premium Plus trim. You guys let me know, is this something that you are going to consider over something like an Acura Integra or an A-Spec, in the A-Spec, or an A-Class, or something to that regard? Coming at $37,000 for this new model year. Are the features justified with the price and this beautiful styling? We got some more reviews coming up. CX-5 Carbon Turbo coming up real soon. So if you guys want to see anything specific, let me know in the comments below what you think of this car and what we should do next. Until next time.